This new moon in Virgo is really bringing in a lot of beautiful, harmonious energy to cultivate healthy new habits and ways of living for yourself that could really help you to optimize your life for the remainder of this year. Greetings, alchemists. Welcome back to my channel, Hidden Alchemy by Sade. I am Sade, and if it's your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. It is always a pleasure and always an honor for me to create these astrology forecast videos so that we can all fully be alchemists in our life and take the energy that's happening above and transmute that into our greatest good and potential. So, with that being said, if you ever have any questions about any information that I talk about on my videos, or you would like a personal reading to make the most out of the astrology, always feel free to send me a message at info@ hiddenalchemybysade.com, or just head over to my website, hiddenalchemybysade.com, and you can go ahead and schedule your consultation. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the new moon happening in the sign of Virgo. And that's going to be happening on the 23rd/24th, just depending on where you are. But as I always say, new moon energy and just energy in general can be felt days before, days after. It's not about the exact day per se, but it's really about that exact week where you're going to be feeling the energy. And for this new moon in particular, we have it coming directly after the sun enters into Virgo on the 22nd. So it's fresh Virgo energy. And we are going to have two new moons in Virgo. The first new moon is going to be on the 23rd/24th. And then the second one is going to be in September, a solar eclipse, literally right before we enter into the fall equinox. So pay very close attention to what this new moon is telling you, because you're going to have another opportunity to course correct for good, because that is what eclipses do. Eclipses put us on the right path, and it's a direct course correction. It's a full 180 that we have no control over. But if you think back to the seeds that you have planted along your journey, the wishes and the desires and the hopes that you have for yourself, and also what's going on in your chart, you want to be placed on this course correction. It just might feel uncomfortable. So as I said in my August astrology video, so if you had not had the opportunity to check that out, go ahead and check that out. Because we are officially entering into eclipse season, as soon as the sun enters into Virgo, you want to start to prepare for the fall before we get to September, because the eclipse will play out for the majority of half of August, all of September, and usher its way out by the time we are in October. So pay close attention to what this new moon is pushing you to change about your habits. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. It is an intellectual sign. It is also the maiden. So the only human and the only woman zodiac in the chart. And the maiden is of service. The maiden is the nurturer. The maiden is the caretaker. And with Virgo being ruled by Mercury, it's really about how can we connect all the dots, gather all the information, learn all the things, connect all the dots, and in true Virgo fashion, rid ourselves of what is not needed. Okay, so Virgo rules the gut. So if you have been paying attention to how this Virgo South Node has been affecting you this entire year, I'm sure there has been some health things brought to the surface that need to be addressed and that need to be taken care of. And with the South Node wants to rid ourselves of impurities that really just aren't helping us bring balance between the North and the South Node. So if you've been working with this Virgo energy, this Virgo South Node, if you are a Virgo dominant person, you already know that your health has been at the top of your priority. Okay. Or if even if you're not a Virgo dominant person, Whatever unhealthy habits that you have adopted where you have Virgo in your chart, the South Node has been ridding you, purging you of those habits. So this new moon is literally a gateway into setting a whole new tone for your daily routines that can create stability and structure in your life, not for the sake of making you bored. I know Virgo can get this rep of being boring because of the practicality, because of the routines, but it's really in the details and the behind the scenes work of how we live our day to day that sets us up for greatness in the future. And Virgo is a ritualistic sign. It rules the things that we do consistently. Okay? Because it's really in the consistency that we really get to see the fruits of our labor. We really get to see that Pisces dream and vision. You cannot get to the vision if you're not consistent in the work that needs to be done for that vision to take shape. So, this new moon is really followed by such beautiful aspects. And the beautiful aspects that are following this new moon is Jupiter that's in Cancer, right? Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, and that is allowing us all as a collective to focus on true nourishment. Where are we malnourished? Where do we need more rest, more ease, and more gentleness and softness in our life? And how can we incorporate that into our daily routine so that we can be of better service for ourselves and for others? Venus is also in the sign of Cancer. So, Venus in the sign of Cancer is really asking us to attract, not needing to act necessarily or hard or in a Mars type of way. Venus is about attraction. How can I start to live a life of ease so that I can attract more harmony, more nourishment, more ease, more softness into my life? And it's by me creating the consistent habit and routine of ease, of discernment, of discipline, of softness. That's how I'm going to attract that into my life, right? So this new moon is making a really nice aspect to Jupiter and Jupiter and Venus in the sign of Cancer is also making a beautiful aspect to the North Node in Pisces. So Jupiter, Cancer is water, so it's making a trine to the North Node, and Virgo is earth, so it's making a sextile. Earth and water work very well together. So use this energy to focus intentionally and intuitively, right? Because that's water energy. Virgo is very intelligent and very intuitive as well. Focus this energy to intentionally and intuitively create the habits and structures in your life that can bring you peace, that can bring you harmony, that can bring you ease, so that once we get into the fall, everything can run smoothly. Because let me tell you, October is fall action movement. Libra is already getting ready to initiate that change. Air is very quick in its nature. And then on top of that, we have the eclipse happening right a week of and 2 weeks before, a lunar eclipse in Pisces and a solar eclipse in Aries right before the fall equinox. So things are going to change very quickly in September. So you want to take your time to implement your foundation so that you can be ready. The best way to receive is to prepare. And when you are prepared and you are grounded and you are stabilized, then you can really truly receive the fruits of your labor and not feel all over the place, which is what fall can feel like sometimes because air element is just very quick in its movement. So, with that being said, that is all I have for this luscious new moon in the sign of Virgo. And I mentioned this in my August astrology video. The best way to really prepare for the fall is to start before Virgo season begins, because that's initiating eclipse season and you want to prepare before the eclipse so that you are ready. So enjoy this Virgo new moon. Take your time to create those new habits and routines. And most importantly, take it easy on yourself. Virgo can be very critical, very harsh, very critical, very nitpicky. Notice where you're being nitpicky and notice where you've come very far, and really hug yourself in that Cancerian compassion, that softness, and that empathy for how far you've come so that you can have more energy to keep going. All right, everyone, have an amazing new moon, and I will see you for our next video.